Russia's repression of opposition voices at home and abroad has intensified, with a growing number of people sentenced in absentia for criticising Vladimir Putin or his government. The country's most famous opposition figure was Alexei Navalny, an anti-corruption campaigner who faced frequent arrest. Navalny received his final sentence in 2023 and was killed in prison the following year, believed poisoned by agents of the state. Last year, a Russian court designated punk collective Pussy Riot as an extremist organisation. The group first acquired notoriety in 2012 with a demonstration in Moscow's famous Orthodox cathedral against the church's support for Putin. In 2022, Pussy Riot founding member Maria Alyokhina escaped from Russia to a life in exile. She was in Australia recently speaking at the Festival of Dangerous Ideas. Maria Alyokhina, welcome to 7:30.
Thank you.
Now, the Russian government has designated the organisation Pussy Riot as an extremist organisation. You have been sentenced in absentia. How much danger are you in outside of Russia?
I had to leave the country during first half a year of full-scale invasion to Ukraine, and basically I thought when I will cross the border, they will not give a about what we are doing, but actually they do. 5 members of Pussy Riot, including me, got prison terms in absentia from 8 to 13 years of prison for anti-war video, Mama Don't Watch TV, and anti-war performance in Germany. Millions of people who are inside Russia are not able to speak because they will be killed if they will open their mouth and speak against this war. And physically they are inside and they can stand on their land, but they are not able to speak. The opposite situation is with us. We are not able to see our country and hear and smell, but we have a possibility to speak out, which we use.
You were, I think, actually in prison when you heard on a radio about the invasion of Ukraine, is that right?
Yes, I was in detention center. The first months of the war I spent with other activists in another detention center. So we were just living near this radio. We were listening every second of all the news, and we had only propaganda news. And we were listening like not before. Everyone thought that tomorrow it will all end, that the world will stop this nightmare, and it would not be great, but at least it would not be this. And it's 5th year now.
What was the impact on you of, first of all, of Navalny's decision to come back to Russia? Was that the right decision, despite the likelihood that he would be killed?
If you would knew him, yes. He would not make any other decision except of being with his country. He was a real patriot. He wanted to stay with people. Again, we do not know what would happen if he would knew about the war. But in that moment, in December of 2020 and January of 2021, that was the only decision for him.
There are lots of people who would say he was the most brilliant figure who taught people about what was happening inside Russia, who taught people about what Putin really wanted in Ukraine, and now he is dead, and that it would have been better, however noble it is for him to return, it would have been better for the world if he had stayed outside of Russia.
Maybe instead of that, just read what he left, his words, and listen to people who are alive. I mean, we don't know what would happen if something would happen. These ifs are quite useless, as well as all this talks about what will happen when Putin will die, when he will die, how sick he is. This is useless. We should concentrate on what we can do now.
Do you remember where you were when you found out that Navalny was dead?
Yes.
Tell me about it.
Well, emotionally, I was shocked. I and many people, we didn't expect. I mean, we had this naive thought that he's protected because he's known, because the documentary about about him and the poisoning of FSB won Oscar. And many politicians, including American president, said that it will be consequences if Putin will kill Navalny. So maybe it's a little bit childish, but we all thought that it will not happen. He is the most famous one. But Putin did that. And by doing that, he didn't just kill the most brave oppositioner. He made a political statement that I will do whatever I want, and you will not do anything. Even if you said that before, you will not do anything because you don't have balls for that.
Let me ask you about that, because there were some responses. There were sanctions against the prison system, officials in the prison system. There were sanctions against scientists who work with the kinds of poisons and materials that were used to kill Navalny, as we understand it. Were those sanctions anywhere near adequate? And what is the consequence of the response being so limited?
The consequences is the price of human lives. It means that more people will be killed, inside the country and outside of the country. I mean, complete stop of buying Russian resources would be a response. An imprisonment of war criminals who are traveling to the West would be a response. The slight sanctions against some industries which are like producing poisons, well, it's kind of nothing. What I was worried about that day is the fate of people who were in prison that time, other oppositioners and quite bright figures. So I wrote an article to Guardian about the exchange, which should be done, and it was done, by the way. So some lives of people been saved, and this is not bad.
Does it hurt you that some Russians believe that you are a traitor to Russia?
Well, I would not say anything super new, but propaganda works. And it works not only for people who've been born in Russia. It will work anywhere, to any nation. If there would be a situation when you watch only this and you don't have any other news resources. While being in the country, I haven't seen hatred actually, but I've seen people who actually believed that there were some chicks in the church 10 years ago, naked, jumping in the front of altar and protesting against God. So usually it takes half an hour to show the video, to show the text of the song, so people can see that by their own eyes that we've been dressed, and it's political song against Putin before the elections, and nothing about protesting God. So next steps, you just show one by one things, how they were, and people are kind of change opinion.
And is that what you're doing in the world, changing opinions?
Well, I'm sharing experience. That's what I'm doing.
Do you think you will return to Russia in your lifetime?
This we don't know.
This we don't know, it is true. Why don't we stop on the thing that we do not know, because you've told us so much already. Maria Alyokhina, thank you very much indeed for joining me.
Thank you also.